Once upon a time, there was a boy named John. John was known for being incredibly lazy, so much so that he couldn't even be bothered to change his clothes most days. He preferred to spend his time lying around, avoiding any kind of effort. This story is about how John's laziness led him to an important lesson, one that changed his outlook on life. Let's follow John on a sunny day that started out just like any other, but ended up teaching him something he'd never forget. On a beautiful sunny day, John looked out his window and noticed the apple tree in his yard. The tree was bursting with juicy, red apples, and just the sight of them made John's mouth water. He imagined how delicious it would be to bite into one of those apples. However, true to his lazy nature, John didn't want to climb the tree or even make an effort to pick the fruit. Instead, he wished the apples would just fall into his lap without him having to move a muscle. John decided to take the easy way out. He walked outside, lay down under the apple tree, and closed his eyes, hoping that the apples would magically fall right into his lap. Minutes slowly turned into hours, and as time passed, John's stomach began to growl with hunger. Still, he refused to get up and do anything about it. He kept waiting, convinced that if he just lay there long enough, the apples would eventually drop down to him. After hours of waiting, John finally opened his eyes and looked up at the apple tree. To his disappointment, not a single apple had fallen. The apples stayed firmly attached to their branches, showing no signs of dropping anytime soon. John grew frustrated and grumbled about his bad luck, but he still didn't want to put in any effort. He wondered why things couldn't just be easy for once. Just then, John's little sister Mary skipped into the yard. She noticed John lying under the apple tree and couldn't help but be curious about what he was doing. Mary asked John why he was just lying there, and John explained his plan. He was waiting for the apples to fall so he wouldn't have to pick them himself. Mary found this funny and giggled at her brother's laziness. Mary, always the practical one, suggested a simple solution. Why don't you just shake the tree? That might make the apples come down. John was surprised by how easy her idea sounded. Sometimes the answer is right in front of us, but we're too stuck in our ways to see it. Mary's suggestion sparked something in John, and for the first time that day, he felt a burst of energy and motivation. Newfound determination, John jumped up from the ground and decided to give Mary's idea a try. He grabbed the trunk of the apple tree and shook it with all his might. To his delight, apples began to rain down from the branches. John caught them one by one, grinning from ear to ear. He realized that a little effort could bring big rewards, and he was grateful to Mary for her helpful advice. John thanked Mary for her help, feeling proud of himself for finally taking action. From that day on, he understood the importance of hard work and realized that waiting around rarely gets you what you want. Sometimes, you have to put in a little effort and think creatively to solve your problems. John's attitude changed, and he became more willing to try instead of just hoping for things to happen. Moral of John's story is clear. Laziness gets you nowhere. If you want something, you have to work for it. Problems can be solved with effort, determination, and sometimes a little creativity. So the next time you face an obstacle, remember Lazy John and how he overcame his challenge. Don't just wait for things to happen, take action and make them happen yourself.